Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Cxdy. Why you gripping so hard? And today I'm gonna go through and show you 6 different ways to take your hi-hats to the next level. So yeah, if we get this video to 1,000 likes, I will send out some commenters my new Cxdy the 4th drum kit. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Alrighty guys, what's up? For this video I'm going to be working strictly with the Cxdy the 4th drum kit, so if you like what you hear, I will leave a link down to purchase that in the description below. But I went ahead and pulled up a really simple pattern I made without hi-hats, just kick, snare, and 808, and this is how that sounds. So, first thing is first, find a hi-hat. Alrighty, first thing you're gonna do is find a hi-hat that you like. Doesn't matter. Lay it out. And first thing you can do to spice up your hi-hats a little bit is to just give them a little bit of a shift. What this does is it changes when it hits. So you can hear it's a little exaggerated here, but right here in like this range is that money spot. It gives it a really nice bounce. When you do this too, your hi-hat isn't clashing with all the sounds that hit on beat, like your kick and your snare, so they're more prominent. They don't muddy them out. Trick number 2 is I see a lot of people doing this. They make another pattern below with the same hi-hats, which is fine, you can do that. But something I like to do is to just go ahead and take this pattern. Oh my god, I am struggling. What is this? Okay, let me put on a third. So you could do something like that, but one thing I like to do is just layer with another hi-hat. That way it is a little bit more in contrast and it brings it out more prominently and gives it a nice dope sound. And you got to remember too, if you're going to shift one, you got to shift the other, or else it's going to sound really off. So go ahead and play with the velocity and the panning of these sounds as well. Tip number 3 would be adding effects to either or. I usually put them on separate mixer tracks. And what you can do with the second hi-hat is you can come over here, add maybe a little bit of reverb, maybe a little bit of delay. Very subtle delay, but it gives it a cool effect. When it comes in, you hear it. Is really good for making this prominent as an accent rather than clashing with the main hi-hat, and you can tell it's trying to complement it. With the first hi-hat, you are actually able to, if you want a more like tingy sound, you can add some vinyl, and that'll make it like a little bit like more tingy, more like punchy hi-hat if you like that. Play with the different years. These ones are a little more like kind of like bit crush, just like a little bit. You can add bit crusher too if you want, but it just like makes it punch a little bit harder. Another thing you could do is you can come over here and add some effect tricks. That way it gives it some cool effects if you play with the settings. Come over here, maybe just add some other stuff. You know, come over here, open this up, give it more of a trap bounce like this with change the velocity of every other note. Alt R when you select all, and you can change the panning. That way it just gives it a wider sound as well, and you could play very little bit with the velocity if you want it to sound really human. And you can also play with the pitch, but with the effect tricks, you just play with the settings here, you get some cool stuff. Also, don't be afraid to play with the rolls in the main hi-hat as well, in conjunction with the second layered hi-hats. Tip number 5, if you want to play a lot with your hi-hats, what you are able to do is to come in here, play with the out of your hi-hat. This gives it a much more short, tingy, punchy feel, a lot shorter, and this gives you a lot of room for rolls if you want to do rolls and stuff with your main hi-hat. It's just like, it's nicer on the ears because it's not super long. Make sure they cut themselves, actually. Maybe not that much. You come up with something like this. Tip number 6 is to go ahead and sidechain your hi-hats, and a lot of people I don't see doing this, but what it can do actually is make your hi-hats really prominent throughout the entire track. So what I want to do is go over to the kick, create a peak controller, make sure I link it to the hi-hat, right click, link to controller. Now I want to link it to here, and the default I want it as should be on default. This way when you come over to the peak controller, change the bass level. When the kick comes in, it tells, with the peak controller, it tells the hi-hat when the kick comes in to get louder. That way the kick doesn't muddy out your hi-hat if you want your hi-hats to be a prominent part of the track. That way it doesn't muddy it out. You can hear the difference with and without it. Let me see. Gets a little lost with the kick. It just makes it way more prominent with the peak controller in there. And I know I was going to tell you only 6, or I said I was only going to do 6 tips, but for a 7th tip, it's kind of like a bonus because it's with open hats. I don't know if that counts, but who cares? You could come over, add a little bit of shift. See, okay, so I'm going to put this on when a snare hits. It's going to give a cool accent to the snare. Wait, it's more like I want it to be over here. See how it kind of clashes with the snare? You could do the same thing as the hi-hats and shift it a little bit, and it'll accent the snare. And yeah, basically that's it, guys. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. It was a really quick video. Not all these videos are going to be geared towards super advanced stuff. I want to cover some basic stuff for people too. So if you liked, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely just comment and like if you want to enter for that, for the getting of the Cxdy, the 4th drum kit. I can't talk, but yeah. So follow me on social media as well. All that stuff is linked down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Hell yeah, let's get it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you stopping by.